Hi guys, I've catched some nasty throat infection during my business trip, and I've spent last week on the doctor's leave, and I wasn't able to record any new videos because of my raw voice. It's not good at the moment, but it's way better than it was last week. I wasn't also able to record any new full reviews for amplifiers, because it's kind of hard to do that when you are falling asleep during listening sessions. When I was hearing music, I was just instantly falling asleep. But yesterday, on Friday, the delivery guy got here with a very interesting package. So the least I can do is first look for something very interesting to me and something that many of you may find very interesting too. So this guy looks like T11 Pro that I have reviewed recently. Same chassis, same black color, same Transaudio logo. There's actually two of them. This is the left channel, and the right channel amp is over there. And because they are exactly the same, there's no real point in looking at both of them. So, in the front, large thick plate with Transaudio logo. Nothing interesting on this side. On the other side, large radiator, very large, very solid aluminum CNC made radiator. On the top plate, one set of venting holes, which are here more for the aesthetical purposes than real venting, I suppose, because they are very small. In the back of the device, we have an answer to the riddle, what it is. This is actually T9.4 in a proper monoblock version. T11 Pros were built on the same amplifier boards as T9.4, but each mono channel had two amplifier boards, two power sections, and the amplifier boards were connected in BTL mode. So it wasn't something like T9.4 in mono version. This is the proper one. We have a power socket here with integrated fuse compartment. We have two sets of speaker outputs for those of you that will be doing B-amping. I do B-amping too. We have two sets of inputs. One is XLR and the other one is RCA, and we are choosing between them using this little switch. So basically the build outside is exactly the same as for T11 Pro. Let's open the amplifier. Yeah. The top plate is something like 5 millimeters of solid aluminum. So it's basically like a bulletproof plate. And let's take a look inside, or maybe let's get this guy closer here. And let's take a proper look inside. Okay, so you should have fresh in memory my first look and my review for T11 Pro. So I will briefly talk about the build for this guy, and I will point out a couple of differences. So what we have here is, as it was with regular T9.4, the amplifier board, the power section board that are mounted vertically, one on top of another. They are not stacked as it was in T9.3. And we have a slow start module with DC block, and under this metal plate we have one single toroidal transformer rated for 1000 watts. So basically, if you remember the internal build of the T9.4, this is exactly one separated channel with basically the same placements or placement of components. The amplifier board, the power section board, even the plate here looks the same. We have one toroidal transformer. If you remember, if you recall, in T9.4 there were two of them, but the other one was for another channel. So very simple build. Slow start, DC block, toroidal transformer, the power section board, with rectifiers, ELNA capacitors. Those are rated for 10,000 microfarads, so we have 80,000 microfarads per board. And we have red German VIMA capacitors. Those ones that I'm pointing here are used as bypasses for electrolytic capacitors. Interestingly, there are factory places for bypasses, so you don't have to do it yourself bypasses. Let's rotate the amplifier. Okay. You should be also seeing those fuses. There are two at the top of the power port and there are two down there below. I'll do some zoom shots when we'll finish the tour of the PCBs. There is a small input board, and as you can see, XLR inputs are directly connected to the amplifier board. There is an operational amplifier. This is OP07D, and as with all Burmester clones, this one is used for the DC server purposes. We have a very neat wiring inside. You should be able to see that right now, but also in the earlier shots taken from this side. There are no random wires, there are no random length wires. Everything is super neatly cut to the right length and placed inside the amplifier. I really like the build. I really think that somebody has spent a lot of time to thinking and designing everything inside. And we have some Omron relays for the speaker protection here. The blue guys are Nichicons. The black guys visible on those boards and those boards are Rubicons. All of the small guys, the red guys, are German VIMA caps, and the white guys here are ceramic resistors. And this build is using sunken transistors, and let's zoom into the board. You may be able to see the types for the transistors, or maybe you won't be able to see them. Those are printed on the board under the soldering points, so here and here, and the lower ones are also printed on the board, but they are blocked right now by the VIMA caps. So I'll try to read the types if I can see them. 2SA 1216 and 2SC 2922. The sale offer says that all the transistors had been paired within 5% tolerance, so all of them are paired, and basically that's it when it comes to the build. If you've seen my videos on T9.3, T9.4, this is exactly the same build as for those stereo amplifiers, but that guy is just mono. If you take a look down there, there is a very large toroidal transformer rated for 1000 watts. So let's talk about the differences versus T11 Pro. Okay, so T11 Pro used two toroidal transformers that were placed under the same metal plate, but there were two of them, and T11 Pro used two power sections that were placed around here, but the most important difference was that the T11 Pro used two of those amplifier boards per channel, and the positive input from the XLR input was connected to one of the boards and negative to the other one, and the outputs from the board were connected in BTL mode to the speaker outputs. Yeah, there was also, as far as I remember, there was also a separate word for converting single-ended input to balanced input, and the board also had slow start module with DC blockers. But this basically meant that there were, let's say, three very important differences in T11 Pro. The first one, it was using two amplifier boards, meaning double power output. The second one, the connection between the amplifier boards was BTL, meaning that the sound will be and should be and was a little different than from T9.4 because of the crossover, different working of the crossover points when the signal crosses the zero, the GND line. The BTL works a little bit different than regular amplifier. Okay, and the third difference was with the power section, because you had two power amplifiers, double the power. You also required double the input power, so there were two power sections and two 1 kilowatt toroidal transformers. The most interesting question at this point is how will those monoblocks sound against T11 Pro? Yes, they will have lower power output, but I don't think that's really significant, because as far as I remember, the regular T9.4 is 400 watts per channel. The T11 Pro is basically a monster with 800 watts per channel, but this guy with 400 watts per channel is more than enough to drive basically any speaker to the limits. So the additional power should maybe translate to dynamics, but it's not like this is weak amplifiers, that the power output will be weak. Okay, what else? One amplifier board. That may translate into a little bit different sound signature, mostly probably somewhere in the mid-range, because that was the area when I thought I've heard most differences between T11 Pro set and T9.4. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This is basically all guessing at this point. I need to burn them in. They got here just last night. They are still cold. And after proper burning, I have to do proper listening sessions. But I may have a problem with comparing them to T11 Pro, because T11 Pros, if you recall, were borrowed from Jakub, and Jakub wants the amplifier back. So we'll see about that. I think that's all for now. Let's do some zoom in shots on the boards, but you've seen them all a couple of times. Those are exactly the same boards as in T9.3, T9.4 and T11 Pro, although they were connected differently. Slow start module, you can basically buy one like that ready-made on AliExpress. This is small input board. The speaker tabs are quite nice. They are gold plated, and let's take a look once again at the wiring. The speaker wiring also looks very nice. Those guys are running to the power switch in the front, and as you can see, the transformer wiring that's powering the power section is very neat, but this wiring for powering the amplifier board is a work of art. Yep. And one more thing that's actually coming always in the comments. There's always a question about the VMAs and other capacitors being real or not. Guys, those caps are really cheap. They are good quality, but VMA MKP caps are really, really cheap. There's very little point in making fake caps like that if you're going to sell the whole amplifier for quite a lot of money. It's like cutting the branch that you're sitting on. There's no point in doing that. All of them are real. Yeah, and that's it. One more thing. T11 Pro was using BC Vishay blue caps. That guy is using black Elna 10,000 microfarad capacitors, as my T9.3 and T9.4 are using. So stay tuned for the full review. Wish me health. My voice is getting better day by day. Last week I was basically unable to speak, so that's why I was posting a couple of things that I've recorded earlier as a backup videos, foreseeing that maybe sometime in future I will have a situation like that. But the good thing is that I'm getting better, and I'm feeling better, and I will be catching up with the reviews. As you can see, the guide that you are all asking about is already in place for the full review. I've also received in the last week and 2 weeks ago, when I was on a business trip, a lot of IMs, so we will be getting back to Mondays with IMs, and that's it. Have a great Sunday, have a great weekend, and spend some time with your music and your families. See you next time, guys.